month of Adar, on the 13th day, the king's command was to be carried out. The enemy of the Jews hoped to overwhelm the Jews, overpowered those who hated them. The Jews came together in all the cities to lay hands on those who would do them harm. The officials and the governors helped all the Jews, for the fear of Mordecai fell on them. Mordecai was great within the king's house. His fame spread through all the land. The Jews defeated their foe with the sword and did what they pleased to those who hated them. In the citadel, the Jews killed 500 men, 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha. They killed the enemy of the Jews with the sword, but didn't lay a hand on the plunder. The number that died was brought to the king. He said, "The Jews have killed 500 men, the 10 sons of Haman and the rest in the regions. What is your petition? It shall be granted. If it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews to do again tomorrow what was done today. Let Haman's 10 sons be hanged on the gallows." The king commanded this to be done straightway. The Jews in Shushan gathered together on the 14th day of Adar, killing 300 men at Shushan, but they didn't lay a hand on the plunder. The remainder of the Jews in the king's regions gathered together to protect their lives. Killing 75,000 of their enemy, they rested and made it a day of joy. Jews of the village who dwelt in the unwalled town celebrated the 14th day of Adar with gladness and feasting as a holiday, sending presents to one another. Mordecai wrote these things to the Jews in the province of the king Ahasuerus, to establish among them their celebration on the 14th and 15th days of Adar, as the days on which the Jews had rest, as the month which turned from sorrow to joy, from a day of mourning to a holiday, sending presents and gifts to the poor. The Jews took the custom which they had begun, as Mordecai had written to them. Haman, the enemy of the Jews, was dead, who plotted to annihilate them. They cast pur, that is the lot, to consume and destroy. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letter that his wicked plot return on Haman's head and be hanged. They called these days Purim, because of all the things that happened to them, that they'd celebrate these 2 days every year according to instructions and prescribed time, that these days be remembered and kept through generations, every family, every province, and every city, that the days of Purim should not fail to be observed, so the memory of the dead should not perish. Then Queen Esther, the daughter of Abihail, together with Mordecai the Jew, wrote with authority the letters of Purim, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim at their appointed time, as Mordecai the Jew and Queen Esther prescribed for them this paradigm, is the decree for themselves and their offspring, concerning matters of fasting and lamenting. So the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book. The king imposed tribute on the land and on the islands of the sea. Now all the acts of his power and might are written in the book of the Chronicles. Mordecai the Jew was second to the king and very great among all the Jews, well received by the whole multitude, seeking good of the people and his countrymen.